Harmeet, you're running in this race. I mean, let's just go right off the bat. If you win, give us a blueprint for change. What are you going to do that's different from McDaniel?
Well, the first thing I would do, John, thank you for having me, is clean house. Okay, there are a lot of folks in the building, specifically a lot of consultants who are left over from the era of White Previous. And what I've seen in FEC reports and heard from people in the building is shocking stories of padding, excess billing, wasteful spending in the building. You mentioned one example. And it's been a culture, and it's not just Rana's tenure. I've heard that culture has been there for years before. 6 years ago, representing the millions of grassroots Republican voters in California. So that's job one. Like Elon Musk came in and took over Twitter and said, look, if you're hardcore and you're here to elect Republicans and you can show me that you're excellent, you can stay. If you're not with the program and you're here to get rich and set up a consulting firm 2 years after you join, and then also double dip and triple dip and get money from different places and sell access, here's your severance check. Don't let the door hit you. Okay, that's number one. Number two, the messaging needs to be radically upgraded at the RNC. And that's not a knock on the communication staff. I think it's really about the leadership. And leadership has been, I think, reluctant to push some of the innovations that are necessary to compete today. We aren't running elections in the 1980s. Ronald Reagan isn't here. We have states that have laws that allow ballot harvesting and early voting. And you are stupid and cannot compete if you do not take full advantage of the laws, whether you like them or not. And I don't like them. But if they're there, we have to use them. In California, for example, we actually win targeted congressional races by using these laws that we don't like and just do it as well as the Democrats who are better and get better candidates. I think the RNC is making a mistake in staying out of the primary process. And I say that as a grassroots voter. I know that grassroots voters in my state do not like the party meddling, but where the Democrats have started to meddle in our primary process by pushing candidates through dark money investments that they know cannot win in a general election, we have to be smart and keep up with that. So the party needs to play some role in candidate training and selection. And I think that's very important. We can't just be cowed by celebrity or by any particular force outside the state in that regard. I think that we have to really be a lot smarter in our ground game. I've heard a lot of complaints from state chairs I've been calling around the country about the quality of that. RNC brags and talks about voter contacts. I've heard from people on the ground in Georgia that some of the consultants or the staff who are paid to do that are really just phoning it in, literally leaving a message as a voter contact, not actually reaching a voter. And so I think our what we count as our metrics need to be improved. Like at my law firm, I don't let people pad their bills and just say they worked for 8 hours if they only produced one page of work product. That doesn't work at my firm. And I run a business. I run two businesses. And so I think I would bring that business attitude to the RNC. The RNC also doesn't utilize all the talent of the 168 members. And I say that as a member who for years fought to be able to use both my communication skills and my legal skills on behalf of the RNC. And it is run by a small coterie of people. They control it. They hand out contracts. Right now, I've heard some disturbing stories about leadership promising contracts, promising money to states if they support the current leadership, promising to pay legal bills that they weren't willing to pay 2 weeks ago to support the leadership. That pay-to-play attitude and ego has to go. I'll be taking a step back from my law firm and my nonprofit and a big pay cut to do this job, and I think that's how it needs to be viewed, as a sort of a servant role, serving the people, and then you go back to your real job afterwards. It should not be a career at the RNC.